Okay, I'm Barbara Blake, and I'm talking to Ron Sparks, and it's May 7th, right? 2007? Correct?
Right.
Okay. All right, Ron, I appreciate you talking to me today. I'd like to start off with the basics. Can you tell us about what community you were born in and what year were you born?
1970, in Gloucester.
Okay. You're a Gloucester native then. Great. And how long has your family lived around here?
Forever.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like your grandparents and great-grandparents?
My granddaddy come to the Cape in the Navy. He's a radio station or whatever,
Oh, okay. Was that during World War II?
I guess.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, well, being born in 1970, you're one of the younger fishermen around here. And you're also one of the few that are still making a go of it. A lot of people I know have had to fall out in the last few years. Can you talk a little bit about how you're able to keep on and why you're sticking with it?
It's in my blood. And just willpower. Keep working hard and you'll make it.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of fishing do you do?
Gill netting, crab potting, shedding soft crabs, everything.
So, a diversity of different things.
Everything, right. Yeah, you can't make it on one thing.
Yeah. Would you say that that's pretty much how it has been for most fishermen down east?
Yes.
And so, what's going on now? Why have so many people had to drop out?
Prices is going up, and I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand it.
Uh-huh. So, how many people would you say are fishing now? Are you full-time? Would you consider yourself?
Full-time.
How many
Always been
full-time
full-time.
fishermen now down east about?
I really don't have a clue, but it ain't many.
Yeah. Who do you fish with?
By myself most of the time, and Rodney Solder, Davis, he fishes with, we partner up some.
Uh-huh. Okay, and you said that you got peeler pots up in the Manio way?
Yeah.
You have a wide range.
Yeah.
Have you fished up there before?
Yes.
How's that work out?
I'm pretty good.
Are those fishermen welcoming of Carteret County people coming up there? And
Oh, yeah. Yeah, get along with them great.
do they come down here?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not to do that, I don't think.
So how many years have you been setting peeler pots up there? Is it in the Albemarle Sound?
Actually, it's in the Croatan Zone.
Oh, in the Croatan Sound, okay.
Yeah. This is my third time, third year, third season doing it.
And does that season start before ours or
After.
What happened to our season this year?
Weather.
The weather?
Yeah.
So it just did not happen?
It really didn't happen.
So don't those crabs have to peel, shed?
Yes.
So how's that?
They shed through the winter. It's been warm, and then when it got time for the run, they're not concentrated when they do it like that.
Okay. But usually in the spring, then they concentrate?
Yeah. If we had a cold winter and everything warms up, then they shed for the spring, and it continues on.
And so that's when people usually set that peeler pot with a jimmy in it?
Right.
And here they come,
Right. We bear pot first. Just throw a peeler pot over with nothing in it and catch the male crabs. After that's over, you put your jimmies in.
Why does the male crab go in there?
Just for a place to hide.
Really?
Yep.
You don't have to bait it?
Oh, nothing.
That sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? And then there he is, and then all the females want to find him.
Right.
And so the weather just messed him up. What do you think? Was it too cold or?
Yeah, it was cold, hot, cold, and hot. That ain't good.
So they're still shedding right on, but they're not behaving like they usually do.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Exactly right.
Did you catch any?
Oh yeah, yeah, I did catch some. It's pull through it, and we're hoping our season up north of here, it will be a whole lot better.
And so what? Who makes your peeler pots? Where do you buy those?
I do.
You make your own?
Yes.
You buy the wire and all that?
Buy the wire and I'll put them together in the wintertime.
Huh. How many do you make?
I try to make 100 every year. New ones just kind of keep up with things.
And why do you do it yourself instead of getting like Nikki Harvey to make them or something?
It's cheaper. Yeah, everything's it's the way it's got to be to make it. You got to save, and gas prices has took it, and that's pretty much it.
Wow. So, is peeler potting one of the better, more, I guess, lucrative fisheries these days?
No, not really. A lot of people think it's really lucrative, but it's a lot of time and effort put in it, and the gear's expensive.
Do you actually have shedding tanks?
Yes.
Where are they?
Where I was raised at.
On Harkers Island?
No, on the water. Whiter's Creek, Brickyard Creek.
Oh, okay. So is that still family property or something?
Yeah, it is. My mother owns it, and my daddy, he shedded crabs and stuff. We've been doing it since I graduated out of high school, and he passed away 5 years ago, and I've kept it going.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. So, and once that process starts, you've got to be there about 24 hours a day?
24 hours.
Do you have help?
My wife has learned to do it, and my mother, she's always been a part of it. And while I'm in the boat, they take care of things.
Okay. And then do you pack them up yourself, box them up?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And then how do you ship them out of here?
They go on a freight truck and go to New York.
Evans Seafood?
Yes.
Wow. And they go to Fulton's Fish Market, different places?
Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes they go to Chrisfield or Maryland or somewhere.
Okay. And so that's usually what you're doing about this time of year.
Yep, that's the spring thing.
And then if things went well, you'd be finishing up here and then getting ready to go on up to the Croatan Sound?
Right.
And then what happens, when does that play out?
The end of this month, but it's about a month.
Now, how do you shed those ones up there? You bring them all the way?
Bring them back.
You do?
Yep, and shed them.
Do you bring them back in your truck?
Yep.
Do you have tanks in your truck?
Nope.
They just stay
put them in baskets, yeah.
Oh. So do you spend the night up there?
No, ma'am.
That's a lot of driving. That's a lot of work.
It's about 7 to 8 hours driving.
Oh my gosh.
Not counting the boat.
And do you do that by yourself?
Me and Rodney, I carried half of my pots, he carried half of his, and we go up there and we're partnered on that.
Do you fish, when she said a peeler pot, do you fish them every day or every 2 days, every 3 days?
Try to fish every day if everything's good.
So you be trucking home these crabs and you put them in your tanks and then you turn them right around and go back?
Pretty much.
Wow. And then once you have them all in there, do they all, I mean, don't they start shedding?
Yeah, they come off gradually, and you just keep putting more in, and some are shedding along, so it's just consistency.
And you say your dad used to do that?
Yeah, he used to watch the tanks and stuff while I was in the boat.
What year do you think people started doing that shed soft crab industry here? What year was that about?
That's been doing here for years.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a newer thing. It's been
the tanks deal on the shore was.
Okay.
But the shedding soft crabs, old timers used to stay in them camps to the banks.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
that.
shedded crabs in floats.
They did?
Yeah, they stayed to the banks in the spring, and after the run they come home.
So did you ever see those tanks and those floats?
You see some now, but that's kind of an old timey thing. It's not convenient. It ain't like walking around a tank looking at them. You got to go and wade around them, or.
Can you describe what those floats were? They wooden boxes?
Yeah, they were basically 4x8 or 3x6 square box that had slats in it and a bottom, and you just put your crabs in there.
And it had floats around it so it would stay level with the top of the water?
Well, it stayed above the water a little bit, yeah.
Okay. And so they used to go out and stay at their camps and do that?
Right.
I didn't know that. And do you remember going out there and helping?
No, I'm too young for that.
Yeah. Okay. So once the soft crab season starts dwindling out, what comes next for you?
I gill net, do some swipe net fishing and mullet fishing, summer mulleting, and
Okay.
whatever it takes to make it.
Like
Might have-
starting in May, June.
June usually,
Hmm.
and I carry that on. I gill net the rest of the year pretty much.
What's swipe net fishing?
It's like a small scale long haul operation.
Hmm.
You don't pull both ends of the net. You just pull one, or
Okay.
just a small scale.
Do you still anchor your net out on a post or something? I mean, how do you?
No, not really. The gear ain't
Yeah.
left. But I do set gill nets.
Hmm.
But mostly I bring my gear home.
Well, how can you do a one boat swipe net? How does that work? I don't understand.
You just you anchor one end of the
Oh,
net,
yeah, just anchor it. I got you.
and then you pull the other end around back to the anchor end,
Okay.
and it corrals the fish until they come in the end.
And what kind of fish does that work with?
Spots, croakers, speckled trout, gray trout, hogfish,
Hmm.
mostly that type.
In the sound or in
yeah,
the ocean?
no, in the sound.
Okay. And then gill nets usually both in the ocean,
Ocean,
and
right? Sink netting and along the beaches, and I did some dory fishing off the beach, mullet fishing in the fall.
Did you go to off Core Banks?
Core Banks.
How was that?
Interesting. It's good, but the mullet season has been way off.
Yeah.
Everything's been way off.
Yeah. They're just not showing up when they usually show up, or they're just not showing up.
Yeah, they're well, the weather seems like we
Uh-huh.
have a hurricane or something that pushes fish out early or whatever.
And what about like the temperature's been strange?
Yeah,
hasn't it?
the climate has been. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
It ain't consistent. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing consistent.
Right. How about shrimping? Do you do any trawling?
I had 2 shrimp boats when I graduated out of high school, and I got rid of both of those.
Hmm.
And I do a little bit of shrimping on a small scale, some channel net.
Yeah.
But
Why'd you get rid of those boats?
just really there's not many places to keep them, and the boats I have now, skiffs, I got on trailers. I bring them home when I come, and I'm done with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but you'll set a little trawl rig up on your boat?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
basically a small scale,
Mm-hmm.
just a filler, just to fill in.
Yeah. Because it's hard to make money on shrimp nowadays.
Yeah,
isn't
and the
it?
things is cheap.
Yeah. Do you think with Carteret Catch and the people from Greensboro looking in to try to improve the markets, do you think there's any hope that, like fisheries like shrimp will improve, that y'all get a better price in the future?
I hope so. The imported stuff's taking over,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes for crab meat and it all.
How about finfish?
I guess certain fin fish, but there's pretty high demand for fish. I mean, everybody's getting out of it, so that makes the market.
Right. Okay. Now, what kind of fish do you do in the fall? What kind of fishing?
Spots and roe mullets and
Mhm.
pretty much everything I named before.
So that's still gill netting and swipe
Yeah,
netting?
right. Mhm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Have you ever worked on a pogie boat?
No, ma'am.
I was sad to see the fish factory close.
Oh yeah.
And I know you were fishing with Bobo for a while.
Right.
Is-
right.
Did he get a boat down to the Gulf? and
Yep,
all
he
that?
did.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's good.
He's down there now, as far as I know.
That's great, because I know he really liked that.
Yep.
So, have you had to change the way you fish in recent years because of just, like the changing availability of the fish or changing regulations or market changes? Have you had to make any adjustments, or are you just going right on how you've always gone?
I have made some adjustments. I crab pot and the cull market for culls, and the hotter it gets, that market's pretty much gone. I do some crab pot now early on,
What's the call market?
like crabs that's sent to the picking house.
Oh, yeah.
They're not, you ain't got to. Then we got the basket where you sell live crabs,
Mm-hmm.
and I still handle them. And as far as the market on the culls, the gas prices and everything, the price of your gear has overrode. It really ain't worth it.
Yeah, and then the picking houses are shutting down like crazy.
Yeah, and then there is no market. Who's
picking anymore?
I really honestly don't know. There's just a couple places. I think Cheryl Storms across Cook County or whatever. I think they still do it.
Okay. So, do you ever go out into the deeper water fisheries, like for, dolphin and tuna and all that?
I have done a little bit of the tuna fishing, but not much.
Yeah.
I really don't care for it.
Why?
It's just rat race.
Oh, too many people trying to get out there, and have you had any scientists working with you? Any observers or any? Have you worked with them for projects or anything?
Not really. There were some observers that come doing that observing for them dolphins or whatever on that deal around that rock season. But they were just out there. They didn't ride with us.
Oh, concerned about that interaction.
Right.
Yeah. So, have you had okay experiences with the scientific community, or not okay, or?
No, they really ain't never had no contacts with them.
Okay. Yeah. And you've never had to bring observers or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So, in being one of the younger fishermen around here, who taught you how to fish?
My father, and a lot of it self-taught.
And some of the old timers around here, do they like to give you advice or anything? Or?
I listen to all I can listen. Take it all in.
Yeah. Well, some of the old timers, I mean, they've got a lot of interesting things about when to go fishing and when not, and the phases of the moon and all that. Do you pay attention to that kind of stuff too?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you? Yeah,
yes.
so that's tried and true stuff.
Right. Well, and the times has changed, so a lot of the old time ways don't really work no more. I mean, boats are different, fast boats, gear's different, and a lot of the older timers ain't changed with the times.
Right.
So it ain't necessarily their knowledge. It helps you, but it ain't always,
Right, I gotcha. Because technology has changed.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like, can you give me an example?
Not right off the top of my head, really. I'm just.
Yeah. And how about all that? Like for instance, when you're getting ready to go set your nets, do you pay attention to? I know you must pay attention to tides and all that.
Right.
The moon, does the moon figure in?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Moon, weather, everything.
Yeah.
Has a big part in it.
Do you rely a lot on technology as far as the fish finders and the fathometers and all that?
I have a fish scope on the boat, and I do use it. But no, not. I don't have much electronic stuff. So.
Yeah. And so, what do you think the future is for you as a commercial fisherman in Carteret County?
Till I die. It's gonna have to be.
That's the spirit, Ron. That's the spirit.
It's got to be.
If anybody could do it, you could do it. Who do you sell to?
James Storm Seafood. Fresh catch to Grantsboro. My soft crabs and stuff, I've got a dealer license. I handle them myself, and I guess it's coming to that. So.
Okay.
I handle a lot of my own stuff.
Right. Do you participate in any of the management advisory committees, meetings?
No, ma'am, not really.
Yeah. Do you feel like you don't have time, or it's a waste of time, or?
I feel like I don't have time, and it is a waste of time. I don't think they really listen to what you have to say.
Right.
I mean, they might listen, but they really know what they want, and they go for that anyway.
Yeah. So you don't think the fishermen have had adequate input on this stuff?
I really do not.
Yeah.
No, they don't listen to them at all most of the time. I think that they ask them So they got their input, but it's pretty much they had to.
Right.
You just can't take something from somebody.
I got you. Like, so they can sort of check off.
You're
They
right.
talk to the fishermen,
Right.
and then they go on and do
Exactly
whatever.
right. I think the fisherman has had a lot forced on them, unwanted stuff. And I understand you have to have laws and regulations. That ain't one of them. That's got to be in everything. But I don't think they haven't had a fair shake at all.
Right. What has especially hurt you in the last few years as far as regulations? Is there anything that really put a crimp in what you're trying to do?
Everything's so unsettled. I mean, you don't know whether to invest in gear more, if it's going to change, or you really don't. Everything's, you plan for your future and where you're going to be in business or whatever, and you can't.
That's right.
You just take it as it comes. I mean, we get net bans thrown at us. We get this thrown at us. You really don't know what to do.
Yeah, all that uncertainty, politics.
Exactly right.
Do you think this new recreational fishing license is going to hurt the commercial fishermen?
Well, every other state has got one. They've banned the gill nets several years afterwards. So we'll see.
Right. Well, I hope it never comes to that.
I hope so.
When you say you're going to fish forever, till you die,
That's it.
is that why you name your boat Sparks Forever?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Are you the last fisherman in your family?
Yes.
You have a brother, right?
I have a brother. He works with a ferry system.
That's right. That would be Reed.
Right.
Yeah. And you have a sister?
I got two sisters.
Two sisters. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, do you think your dad would be proud of you knowing you're still carrying on?
I think so.
Yep.
I think so.
Have you ever gotten in trouble while you were fishing? Weather-wise, did you ever feel like you're in danger?
A few times.
Have you ever gotten stuck in a real bad storm?
Yeah.
But you came out all right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You deal with weather.
Okay, well, do you have any fishing stories you'd like to share?
No, not really.
Tell me about your best catch ever.
I don't know. I've had a lot of good catches.
Yeah.
I don't know one right offhand.
Yeah. What's your favorite fishery?
The mullet fishery.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's the roe?
Yeah, and I used to fish them pretty much year round.
Mullet?
Yes.
Okay.
And the roe prices had dropped, and the summer market is iffy, and it kind of played out a little bit. So.
Was that selling to Japan?
Yeah, the roe was.
Is that still a good market?
It's there, but it ain't nothing like it was.
But you still have a market.
Oh yeah,
for that.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Now I fish in the fall. I fish mullets, but I either do that or swipe net, whatever I think I'm gonna get the most out of. Because so we make through winter.
Yeah. And why is that your favorite?
I don't really know. I just always like running mullets.
That's when you have a tower on your boat.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody spotting
Right.
for mullet. It must be exciting.
It is.
Okay. Well, I can't think of anything else to ask right now.
Okay.
Have you got anything to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Any secrets for the future for young fishermen wanting to get in?
You got to really have it in your heart and willpower.
Well, it seems like you do.
I don't know sometimes. Have a lot of trials.
I know you do. Have you come this far, Ron?